Thank you so much for joining us today on this yet another session by Vervin Technologies. So today's topic is digital future. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, hello, and I am Kalpana, and I will be your webinar host for the day. And this webinar, as I said earlier, is brought to you by Vervin Technologies. Vervin is an online career platform for younger individuals. We curate career resources, provide mentorship by connecting you with senior professionals from your industry and subject matter experts in various fields from whom you can get guidance and career advice. We also partner with companies looking out for talent by hosting their job opportunities. If you're looking for a new job or just some career advice, please log on to www.vervin.com to register and be part of our community. The speaker for today is Mr. Bharat Surendran. He is a digital marketing veteran who has been a senior digital marketing consultant for several years. And he is also a trainer, a speaker, and an author. An alumni of IIM Bangalore, he is the chief digital consultant to many reputed organizations and has been an external digital marketing faculty for Times of India Group since 2018. Bharat has more than 15 plus years of experience working in technology as well as in sales and marketing. His previous assignments include working for companies like GE Capital, Naukri.com, and Manipal Group, to name a few. He has trained lakhs of students and has consulted with more than 50 plus corporate clients. Today, Mr. Bharat will focus on five key important factors when it comes to digital marketing. Namely, how to have digital marketing success in your business and career during this pandemic, and the post-pandemic strategies digital marketers must implement to retain their customers. We will have a Q&A session at the end of this. Put your questions in the chat box, and I request everyone to please make sure your audio is on mute as well as your video at all times during this session. Thank you. Right now, I'll stop sharing my screen and Mr. Bharat can take over.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Bharat Surendran, and welcome everyone. And before I start the session, I would like to probably use the chat window whenever necessary. So, if I'm going to tell you something to share, something to share, some information, please use the chat window to make sure that you communicate across to me. Hope this you are able to hear the audio. So if you are able to hear the audios, please on the chat window, please type that you are able to hear. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So what today's session. I know there is a mixed audience. There are a lot of people who are freshers, maybe probably people with some 1 or 2 years of experience, and probably people who might be somebody who might be senior people also. So I would maximum try to make sure that I am able to address almost all of you, so that you are able to understand what I'm going to talk about. So digital marketing, if you take this one subject, is a very important subject. To be frank, it all started with the invention of the World Wide Web, right? So it all happened that once this so-called the World Wide Web came into existence, always the commerce, people who are there in business and commerce always wanted to use internet effectively in their day-to-day businesses. And I'm somebody who started my career way back in year 99 2000. It was a kind of a dot-com boom and a bubble burst period. So it was a kind of a dot-com boom that happened. It was a fantastic year, to be frank, the year 2000, where there was something called Y2K problem happening on the one end, another end it was a dot-com boom. I started my career at that time, and it was like the internet was just the starting. It was in kind of web 1.0, not even 2.0. So it was like the web was just starting in the starting phase, and many of them actually wanted to try out do something in the uh, in the business arena, and a lot of things were experimented, uh, and a few companies made a lot of money, and so-called the commerce e-commerce that we have today, I would say that year 2000 it was just a dream. But then, if you really fast forward it today, I think you have everything at this point of time. You have websites like Amazon.com where everybody is doing shopping, and you have Flipkart tied up with your companies, Walmart kind of companies and things like that. So I would say today there is an immense opportunity today, whether it is going to be e-commerce or whether it's going to be any other business, for example, for that matter. So within a short period of time, I should say within a 20-year period, the technological breakthrough that has happened, and that has revolutionized the way in which we are actually purchasing, shopping, the behavior, so-called the consumer behavior has totally changed. And it all happened that, of course, 2020, it was such a kind of a year that it was a disastrous year when it comes to the most of the economies in the world because of so-called the COVID. So nobody expected that there is such kind of a phenomenon would happen, that people will not be able to commute or travel. They can't go to any places. The so-called the social distancing have to be followed and so on. That today I would say that because the work we have done for so many years, today what has happened is it has made our life somewhat easier compared to what would have been if suppose we have not been working on this kind of technological breakthrough. So I would say students studying in all the schools and the colleges, they all have classes online like webinars and so many other things that has happened, which facilitated us to make sure that we are still educating our children. That is one. And the way in which the entire what to say the environmental changes, the so-called the social factors, it has changed. Everything has been impacted our lives. Workplaces, the most of the workplaces, they all went for something called the work at home concept, of course. So everybody sitting at different places, they are working in collaboration. These are all something which are one, even though the disaster strikes in, still we were able to cope up with so many things because of that, of course, because of the technology that we have, and also we have so many things which actually facilitate us to do transact and purchase products, services, and so on and so forth. Um, so what I'm going to do is today I'm going to give you certain important things that you need to know in order to make sure that your digital marketing can be successful. There are companies which have implemented digital marketing very successfully, but when it comes to Indian context, I would say because Indian context, I am somebody who's working on the so-called the small and medium enterprises predominantly, even though I work with larger corporates for few projects, whatever. But then I have seen what exactly a small and medium sized organization, what the challenges they have. There are so many things that any organization, any company has to actually do. Today's scenario, anybody has to do. And what is that we are supposed to do? That becomes very, very important question, because most of them don't know digital. When it comes to digital, what is that we are supposed to do, right? Because most of them are brick and mortar companies, companies which have been traditional, companies which have been there for past. They have been doing the way in which they are supposed to do. They have been doing it, and suddenly it happens that today we have to make the change. We have to shift. The shift becomes not a easy task. It becomes a very difficult, challenging task. So what is that we are supposed to do? That becomes a major question. Most of the companies have major challenge when it comes to being there, on the on the World Wide Web. So what is that thing? Let's say a small entrepreneur. Let's say, for example, tomorrow you are thinking of starting a business on your own, because today I think I would say that many of them want to build their own startups. It happens that career opportunity today, when you come out of any institution, one of the important thing that you could do, because long back it was not like that. When we graduated, I graduated in 98. When I was came out, it was there is only one option most of them had, was to somewhere they work for some company, XYZ company. Most of them never thought of entrepreneurial career, but today it is not so. Today I would say, because I used to go to a lot of entrepreneurial seminars to most of the colleges, a lot of programs that I used to do. So what I have seen is, today entrepreneurship is one of the career choices that people have. So right out of the college, you keep thinking what you're supposed to do, how to become a entrepreneur, or how to be on your own, and that becomes a very important predominant thinking for most of us. So what is that we are supposed to do? That when it comes to digital, many of them do not have the required knowledge, or they would say the know-how, what to do in digital to make sure that you are able to do something online, so that you are able to build a reasonable amount of business. During the lockdown, I would like to share some of my experience during lockdown. Okay, so let me share some few what's it on the screen. One second, let me share. Uh, Let me share certain documents. Okay, let me share. Okay, so this is, as I told you, this is about me. I'm Bharat Surendran. So currently, right now, I would say currently, I am actually working with an organization as a consultant called KM Biomed. We are developing something called a Get Well, a brand called Get Well at Home. Of course, this happened way back, Corona. And once the Corona happened, of course, we had a lot of challenge. Of course, the company was specialized in the most important, equipments that are needed for hospitals. In fact, they have their own, hospital beds and manufacturing facility, and they have something called the smart bed technology. A lot of things happened, and I am happy that after Corona, in fact, some of the orders that they are getting are through online, and the portal which I have developed is active, and orders are coming through that. That is one. And last 2 years, as I told you, I've been with the Times of India group, with the Times Pro, and of course they told me what is the education qualification I have. In fact, I've done lot of certification apart from those things, and of course these are my partial client list. uh, yeah, so uh, let me share my screen. Okay, so what is digital marketing? So even before I get into what is digital marketing, what we are supposed to know, and all those things, I would like to give you some experience uh, before COVID and after COVID. All right. To be frank, I used to do lot of programs, training programs. It used to be offline workshops, a lot of things used to happen. And once the COVID came, what exactly happened was, when the COVID came, some of us, I would say some of the entrepreneurs or some of the people who are there self-employed, they were forced to think creatively. They're forced to think creatively what we are supposed to do to make sure that we are able to do something, use the existing technology, and make sure that we are able to, effectively market and sell and things like that. In fact, what I did was, one thing I did was um uh, created my own digital marketing program as a webinar format, and I think we did almost more than I think it was, number was somewhere around mm, 11 workshops, I guess. So I don't have the real number, I totally forgot. So almost, I should say almost more than 10, 11, 11 batches, uh, almost so many batches, almost like continuously it went on. And last few batches also we conducted with other organizations, or a few organizations I work with, or like a Madras Management Association, there was another organization, something like that. So what exactly happened was, like, so continuously I was able to, in fact, do webinars, and it was because need of the hour. You school students, for example, in my own son studies in fifth standard. All the education today, I think it's all through Zoom. And I think because you right now we are supposed to change our self behavior, our behavior, right, is a user behavior or consumer behavior you call. The moment the consumer behavior changes, what exactly happens is the entire the services is going to change. So that is the major change. So any business, any business, if you take, will always function. One of the important things that you need to know, running a business, running an organization, enterprise, is one of the important things. There are two things. One is macroeconomics and microeconomics. So the are the environmental factors, or micro environmental factors and macro environmental factors. These are two things that you always have to study as a marketer. People always think digital marketing is something as an isolated subject and comes to marketing. Absolutely, suppose somebody thinks like that, they are absolutely wrong. Because digital marketing is actually a small subset of the so-called the entire marketing. So even if you call it digital, so-called digital, it is again nothing but marketing. So all the marketing principles, let's say for example, you want to take tomorrow, you're going to take MBA marketing, then I would say all those things that you're going to learn, it's going to fall under, of course, whatever you're going to do in digital marketing, it is going to be the same thing, exactly the same thing. Nothing is going to change. The only thing that is going to change is the technological part. The technological part that you does change. So that is what you are supposed to learn. And I don't think it is a very difficult task to learn at all. In fact, the subject is a very vast subject, no doubt about it. But then I think the challenges that you have will actually make you to learn a lot. And it is such a creative space. You have a lot of creativity there. One, number two, you have so-called the communication that happens, and the people who have the ability to communicate, whether it is going to be writing advertisement copies or writing blogs, creating content, creating videos on YouTube, bloggers, vloggers, all of them belong to the same so-called the digital marketing space. So digital marketing today has an immense scope. To be frank, if you ask me what is the scope of digital marketing, I used to say sky is the limit. Some of them are, sir, is it true? I would say absolutely no. Why not? So I would say digital marketing has a wide scope. In fact, okay, that is one thing I want to actually understand. People who are going to take up digital marketing, that's one important thing that people have to know. Right. Before I go again get into the nuts and bolts, I would like to do one thing now. I would like to ask all the participants a lot of questions. What next in digital marketing? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I think Mr. is a lecturer. In fact, I am not a lecturer. Uh, lecturer. Spelling is not right. Okay. In fact, Bharat Surendran has been a guy who has been a totally somebody who was working in a corporate environment. I was somebody who has been working in a corporate environment. I don't want to actually tell, I don't want to probably tell my entire story. It is a very, very lengthy story. Probably it will take another small seminar by itself. So I started my career in technology actually, way back in year 2000, 2001. I worked in a .com environment. It was we are ASP VB SQL Server platform. I was somebody who was a coder, was a coding. So I used to do coding, right? The 1.5 years, 1.5 years of coding, I think I was totally, you become nuts to be frank. I don't want people to disappoint people who want to take up technology, but it happened that I felt like I should not be in technology. And then after that, I did my MBA in sales and marketing, and totally got into sales and marketing. So I did lot of odd sales jobs before I got sales and marketing. But when I got my MBA, after finishing my MBA, it was Naukri.com that hired me. So I went on working for Naukri.com as a corporate sales guy. So corporate sales is one of the important areas where you learn in and out of any business, right? In and out of any business, particularly corporate sales. Corporate sales is a pretty different from all your other sales background. Whether it is going to be like whether it is going to be retail sales or pharma sales or other institutional sales, corporate sales is pretty different. So I was there. Then after that, I left and started my startup. I was started with other two partners. It was in year 2006. I also got married at that time. My startup was not a successful venture. 1.5 years, it was actually not a successful venture. But then I came back to corporate e-learning. I was with the e-learning company called EduRite Technology. That company was became that is the company which became Pearson India Private Limited. So we all came out of it. Then after that, I was on my own from 2009. I have been an entrepreneur. I've been on my own for the past 10 years now. So a lot of places I used to go and do as visiting faculty. As he said, lecturer, I used to do lecture a lot of places with whatever the experience that I have gathered. There is one small misconception I would always like to tell some people, that there are two people believe. That belief I should erase it off. That people who do not teach, and people who teach do not do, are action takers. It's a wrong belief. For example, I am somebody who is a consult. For example, I am right now consulting for last 1.5 years for a biomedical company. So in and out we do work. There is other projects which are there, which are very practical in nature, that we are doing, right? Working for making sure that client is able to make sure that they are able to get their return on investment on whatever the marketing they do. That is one. At the same time, the passion for probably people interacting with others also make us to actually teach the subject. That's the thing about. So the answer for it. And I will probably tell you, it's like today's workshop, we may not be able to get into every detail. It takes a long time to learn everything. What I would like to do at this point at time, right? people want some valuable information at this point. I would like to give a freebie at this point of time. So I have recorded a lot of kind of informations. It's an ebook. I would say audios and things and all things. How many of you would like to get a kind of a free access to all my programs? How many of you would like to? If you would like to, please comment on the chat window, please. Yeah. Yeah, so what I would do is I would share you a link. Okay, the link you could actually click on, that is a questionnaire. Just write the questionnaire and click on it. The next page you would be getting kind of a download information. You can download all those information, and I will also be again sending you the same download information to all your email IDs. Okay, let me just send you the link. Okay, so this is the link. So just go to this document, right? There is a form. So just fill it up and get all the downloads. It's all free downloads. It's not paid at all. Nothing is paid, to be frank. Okay, nothing is paid. So I'm just giving you all freebies at this point of time. So I would like to probably hear, read, comment on things which you are going to learn. And let me get into the session now. So just copy this and paste it. You don't need to do it right away. You can probably do it later once the program is done. And it's going to be there forever, so don't worry about it, right? Right, now what is digital marketing? Digital marketing is so simple. I'll make it so simple. Now, most of the businesses, see, I used to go to, I used to see lot of companies who were struggling. See, because I'll tell you, I've seen different companies, and I'm fortunate to see different companies. To be frank, worked in different companies. That is different. Also, I've also consulted to various different kinds of companies, small, medium, all this large. So one of the things that I've seen is there are some companies who struggle when it comes to marketing. There are a lot of companies, and not some. Most of the companies struggle with marketing. First, you have to understand that. Marketing, the major problem in any business, if you take, is a marketing problem. Any problem. Because, see, I would say, you ask me, Bharat, what kind of problem do you solve? I think I'm very bad at mathematics. I'm not a traditional teacher. Somebody asked me, sir, are you a lecturer? I'm somebody who has been sitting, always used to sit in the back bench in the class. Oh, weird in thinking, different. All those people who sit in the back benches are the people who get into sales and marketing later in life. That is very true, right? And I will tell you, most of the companies have major problem is marketing problem. What they have is the problem that they have is marketing problem. Now, why do you think they have this problem? You have to really ask. There are two things are there. There are certain things that you have to understand. Every organization work with kind of a logic. Every organization work with the logic, and the logic can be of different types. In fact, in our marketing, if you go and study the subject, like Peter, I think you have something called the Philip Kotler. And I was also in an MBA. I have studied MBA for 2 years. People will do one thing is when they study, they will not study the subject properly. Even I also committed the same mistake, because They are giving you everything, like, you are given you a book, and then they told you, okay, right, we can study this. Mostly what you will feel like, now why should I study that? Probably I will take some notes and probably pass the exam. But I'll tell you, uh, whatever the practices today we have, everything has been written, and wonderfully they have written. See, if you look at observe, you can see there are different kinds of logic people actually have when they run an organization. They call it something called the production concept or the product concept. When you say production concept, product concept, what normally happens is people always think so simple. If I'm able to increase production, sales will happen. If I'm able to produce a wonderful product, the sales will happen. That's the kind of a belief that they have. Even I know some few organizations. I have some of them very close. I know, running on organization there, they don't have any marketing team or no sales team at all, but still the business is running successfully. But other small companies. But if you want to grow, you have to have marketing. So if, the people who are something called there is something called sales concept, marketing concept, and this was a social concept. These are something company logic. The company logic should address it. That marketing is very, very essential. And if you do not have marketing company may not be able to survive. Okay, what is marketing? Marketing is so simple. It's a process of converting a stranger into a friend, and a friend into a customer, and a customer into an evangelist. What do you mean? If suppose somebody, somebody, he becomes your friend, and then over a period of time, he feels that why not I buy your product or service, and then he maybe try your product and buy your product. If you can address this, entire way in which you can actually convert people from being a stranger into a customer, that process is what marketing. And marketing, it is very essential today. Without marketing, a business cannot survive. Very, very important, right? Okay. Now, why do you think, my major question was always this one, why marketing very important, what we should do, right? And I went and interacted with, I think I got an opportunity to interact with 200 entrepreneurs at one shot, like all of entrepreneurs, Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu Chamber of Commerce. I met everybody. Asked them how many of them have website. How many of them have websites? They said websites, they have, very few people have websites, to be frank. Very few. How much I would say, not even 30%, 20%. Most of them do not have websites. And what do I mean by, even if people have websites, the major issue when it comes to website is that they do not have what? They do not have proper web presence. That's the ultimate challenge. Most of them do not have web presence at all. And this is a major challenge with most of the, I would say, the entrepreneurs, companies, and they don't have proper web presence at all. I mean, the websites or on the social media presence and all those things. It has to be an integrated way, in which even that, not like just having a kind of a just on social media account. No, not really. So you have to have your web presence properly done. That is number one. Most of them do not have. You have to spend a lot of time, effort to making sure that you have all this thing, right? Next is important thing that you have to have is your content strategy. Because on the website, it is most important thing that you have to have is nothing but your content. So if an ad is there, if you suppose you put an ad, if you actually you write something on your blog, and if you want to share it on the organic way, there are only two things, two ways marketing normally happens. One is called the organic way, another is called inorganic, or you so call your advertisement. So either you put an ad, or whether you go for a kind of a long-term strategy, which is an ad copy or ad content, or whatever. So these two things, important thing is content. This is the content. So I would say there are these are two. Even for example, I'll tell you, Tomorrow you want to actually build a career, right? See, number one, what you need, I told you. Okay. Number one, as you said, website. Today, if suppose a company has to start digital marketing, first thing is they have to hire a proper web developer, website developer. Who is a website developer? Most of the websites we develop are using something called the WordPress. So people who know WordPress, yes, we will hire. People who know Shopify, we will hire. So you have to have those technology portion. So there are people who are specialized in technology. So people who are specialized in technology, particularly web technology, I'm talking about web technology. I am somebody who has seen web technology very long back. Today the web technology is totally different. We have we have gone to a different phase altogether. Web technology, if you are specialized, you will get a job. If you want to get a job, it's so simple. You can be a specialist in that. That is one. Number two, as I told you, the content strategy. Because content is the king actually. Without content, I can't do anything. And organizations are having a real big battle when it comes to creating content. Because why? Because content is a collaborative effort. Most of the organizations do not have the capacity or capability to create content, and that too the content has to be in a kind of a structured content. It's not ordinary content, because the content which you have to create, we have to optimize it in such a way that it has to be optimized. On the Google you can optimize it so that the rank, actually you build the rank on the website. So content becomes very important. In fact, today if you are good at creating content, if you are good at writing skills, and if you know a little bit of technical thing also, so called the search engine optimization, which is their SEO, you have a very good career. So that's how you build traffic. Today if you want to build traffic, you have to have content, as I told you. So you have to have the relevant traffic. If you ask, most of the companies would say that they do not have traffic at all, proper traffic to their website. And it's not about just getting traffic, it is about capturing the leads. Now, today I've always used to ask people, you go online, what do you think the Google knows about you? What do you think the Facebook knows about you? Don't you think that Facebook and Google knows more about you? How many of you say yes? On the chat bot, could you probably just type in, what do you think about Facebook and Google? What do you think about Facebook and Google? We collect our interest. Yeah. Service. Yeah. 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 They know more about us. They know more about us than maybe more than your father and mother know about you. Google and Facebook knows more about you. So the funny part is, you almost you capture every data and then you share it almost everywhere, right? And if you go to, let's say, you're going out and you just take a picture and then you post it on the social media, and then you tag your friends and then say, hi, I visited this place. The moment you say that, of course Facebook knows where you have went, where all you have went. So it is like Facebook uh, stores almost every information about the user. So you understand that because of the user behavior changes, of course, the technology, the way in which you use technology also changes. So we want information about users, so that becomes an asset for most of the organizations. So what Google and Facebook have done, the two things they have done. What they have done is they have collected a huge repository of information about most of the people. So because of that, they can, on the back end, I don't know how many of you know what is back end, right? I will probably show you some back end, okay? Because just to make sure you're interesting, I'll also show you some back end. What is back end, right? Just show you only one example, okay? Let me do one thing. I will show you what is back end. We don't have time, but then still I'm going to show you what is a backend. Okay. Okay. Let me go to Facebook, for example. I don't want to spend too much time because we ours is not our scope or entire program. But I'm just gonna just want to know. I don't know, tell you what exactly a backend is. See, this is a Facebook page. This is a Facebook page. This is where most of you are. Most of you guys, what they do, you guys post, comment, share, and all those things. But there is something called a backend. I'll just show you the backend. Okay, this is something a backend tool. I'll just show you what is the backend. Because you guys have to understand what exactly our social media channels do. Wait for some time. I'll just show you this. That's it. I'm not going to go detail into it. Just to understand. So this is the back end of the Facebook. This is called the Ads Manager. So inside the Ads Manager, I can put all the advertisement on the Facebook so that these ads will actually appear on the on all the pages on the pages on the page on the target groups, so called the target group. So for example, you see, for example, I put some ads. I don't have those details, but because Facebook doesn't store every information. But then you can see the just to look at it, that it is actually the backend. This is the backend tool. So for example, here something called lead generation advertisement I have put for 5 a.m. club. Yeah, that is a program which I have done called the 5 a.m. club. If I just preview this, you can actually have a look at the advertisement which I have put. So this is a advertisement which happened some time back. Okay, it's called 5 a.m. club, which happened in Tamil actually, right? So this is an ad. Okay, let me stop share at this point of time. Sorry. Yeah, so did you guys saw the backend? Could you please acknowledge on the chat window, please? Yeah, so I'm just giving you an idea that you also have a backend for Google. Google, there is a backend, okay, and Facebook you have a backend. Instagram, there is backend. Instagram and Facebook are the same backend, to be fair. Some of you may be seeing this at the first time because you don't know, right? So just to have an understanding, I'm just showing you that, right? Now that's very important. You have to understand there is a backend where people are taking advantage of all the information that you are going to provide, that you are actually providing to the to these social media channels and Facebook and Google and all these search engines and so on, right? Let me come back to the slide now. So it is important that companies do, any company for that matter. It's not about just Google and Facebook and Amazon. I'm talking any company which is selling products and services have to capture. They have to capture leads, and today we can do it without much of very difficulty. You don't need to have much of big specialized skills for it. No, it becomes very easy today. So we have all the tools and the methods to do it. So this is where most of the companies do not do. And why do they don't do? Do not do because of lack of information, or lack of we'd say awareness. Okay, that is number three. Okay, and next thing, what the problem is, they do not have something called the sales funnel. Sales is very, very important. To be frank, I would say what you have to learn. One of the important things that you have to learn, not even algebra or trigonometry or some kind of what is this in differentiation or integration. What you need to know is the basic fundamental thing, that is nothing but sales. Why? Because without sales you can't survive. So sales becomes very important. But most of the organizations do not have so-called the digital. I mean, when you come to digital, and digital, there is something called you have to have something called a digital funnel or funnel system, and something called the sales process. And because they do not have these funnels and sales system, sales processes, the conversion becomes very, very difficult, right? This is the fourth one, right? And of course, these are the important things that you have to know. This is the reason that most of the time, right, what exactly happens is we actually fail in digital marketing. I said they fail in digital marketing. So what we are supposed to do now, the question is, if you are running a company, you have these challenges, what is that we are supposed to do? It is so simple. I would say simple. All you have to do is so simple, is to learn digital marketing and implement digital marketing in the first place. So how do you going to do it? What is the thing? It is so simple. It is so simple. There is anything that you do in management, that too particularly, I would say it narrow down to only 3 or 4 things. I don't know why, but those 3 or 4 things they never teach you, right? Right. One is planning. Okay. Number two is organizing. Another is coordinating, communicating, coordinating, and executing. Right. So this is what you're supposed to do. And how do you do that? So simple. First is about plan. So you have to have a plan. And if you do not have a plan, you cannot execute. So it doesn't mean that analysis paralysis. Today I will say it's not about analysis paralysis. No. But today's scenario, planning becomes very, very important. I'll tell you for example, simple reason. There is a company which I'm helping out at this point of time in digital marketing. They have different kinds of products, and they have product called Honey, Honey, honey. They have honey. Now, I will just ask you now, where do you think honey is consumed throughout India? Now you have to ask a question. Is, why do you think honey is consumed throughout the country? Which state is consuming what? How do you get to know the information? Can you please type your comments? Yeah. How do you know? You have those information. Data capturing. Yeah. No, not you data capturing. There is, you have tools which will exactly tell you where the honey is bought. Which honey is bought where? For example, there is something called white honey. No, right now we have been working on that. White honey. And the white honey is consumed in Tamil Nadu. Somebody says Jaipur because it's sweet. Yeah, it is also true in a way. Many of the sales normally happens in northern part of India. Many places, many times it happens. There are, for example, there is a keyword, is a people, it's all keywords. When search keywords, we call it called search keywords. For example, Amla. When people search Amla, do you know where Amla is bought? You can go and search and find and get it. Not in Tamil Nadu, that's the problem. Amla is not bought in Tamil Nadu. Amla is actually bought in mostly in Uttar Pradesh. Now, how do you get this information? Now, you get this information through today. You have the data capture, you have analytics. As somebody says, analytics. We have analytics. Through that, you can actually go and get those information. Today, you have everything out there, free of cost. You don't need to pay much. You don't need to pay any money. Everything is out there. Google is giving you. Like Google is giving you free access, right? Is giving you free access to every kind of information. Not only Google, there are other tools are also there. So you have to understand that all these tools are available today, and we can actually take advantage of these tools. In fact, I would recommend people to actually take up digital marketing seriously, and they could actually pursue their career. So what I would like to do is I will like to probably answer some few of your questions. So any doubts, please let me know on the chat. Yeah, but does Facebook and Instagram promotion really help? Facebook and Instagram promotion will do wonders if you understand where exactly it fits in. Let's say, for example, it is going to be more a B2C market. When it's a business to consumer market, and you know exactly who the target market is, and if they are present in Facebook and Instagram, by doing a very good promotion on Facebook and Instagram, you can mint money. Yeah. When will start the future of digital marketing? I don't understand the question. When will start the future of digital marketing? I don't know what exactly you mean. Yeah, somebody has given me the LinkedIn. How many social media are there for promoting digital marketing? So digital marketing, there are different kind of social media. Predominant social media channels are your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, right? And there are so many other channels are also there. Yeah, I would say you focus on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It is enough. How do we start a career in digital marketing as a fresher? To be frank, as a fresher, whether you want to start a career in digital marketing or whether you're going to start a career in any other field for that matter, always to start, it will always be slightly difficult because since you are always a fresher. But you also have lot of advantage because you are a fresher. So you have to understand, if you are a fresher, you have two things. One is you have advantage and disadvantage. The disadvantage is you don't have experience, right? Advantage is because you are fresh, you have a great advantage. What I would tell you is take up courses which are very good courses, I would say, and study those courses, digital marketing courses, and be ready and try to work in a company first. Even if they don't pay you much initially, get a good company where you could work as a person intern and gain experience. As you gain experience, your market value will keep on growing on step by step. So you don't need to worry about. All you have to do is gather experience. Even if you get experience 1 year, 2 year, the experience is worth it, no doubt about it. Right? Any other question?
Hi, Bharat, thank you for the session. So we also have few previous questions, which I would think we can answer now. So
Yeah.
Kamraj has a couple of questions. One is, why is digital marketing booming, and what will be the future of it? And also, like, coming to digital marketing, what will be the platforms apart from emails and social media?
Okay. Yeah. So some first question is why digital marketing is booming. Yeah. I never knew. Okay. To be frank, see, it is so simple. Um, Um, I think you have to go back to history to learn, understand what exactly happened in marketing. So there was long back when we were young. Okay, there was only one. This is what we call channels of communication. Wherever there is channel of communication, okay, there is marketing. You understand? We call it channel of communication, channels of marketing, or channels of communication. Now, way back we had something called Doordarshan. We used to have television, TV. TV was the only channel, and we had something called the Doordarshan. And Doordarshan, we put anything put on Doordarshan, people will watch. Millions of people used to watch. But later, what exactly happened is we had so many different things coming into different channels. You have one or two newspapers and magazines. It becomes so many different newspapers and magazines and so on and so forth. And over a period of time, what has happened, these are things which have grown. And at the same time, we also got internet. And after internet, what exactly happens? User behavior has changed. You have to understand user behavior change. When the user behavior changes, the entire marketing has to change. Now, olden days, I still remember my grandpa used to always, all his entire generation, one thing they would do is early morning, wake up, first they will search for is the Hindu newspaper. So anything put on the Hindu newspaper is always a worth it information. So all the advertisement used to come on Hindu newspaper. Today it is not so. All of you when you wake up, including your, including when my wife at home, I see, a morning they wake up is first just take the mobile phone, and then check what they have got information. Now the user behavior has changed. As the user behavior is changed, of course, we have to entire marketing changes. As the entire marketing changes, everywhere there is a demand. So all companies have to adapt to digital marketing. So that's the reason that it is growing, booming. It will also boom even further. I'll tell you. And everything has become digital today. The payment has become digital. If you want to pay money, you have everything is you are virtual. Even money that you do not have is cash. We have cashless transactions that we do. So everything has changed. So digital is the way to go forward, no doubt about it.
Okay.
What about the next question?
Yeah, Pranav has a question. What is significance of content marketing in digital marketing?
There is another question which was there. I think somebody else asked me.
Yeah. So, how to approach companies for digital marketing purpose? So that is a question from I think Aditya and Jairaj. Both of them had asked that question.
Can you come again with the question? What is it?
Yeah. How to approach companies for digital marketing business?
Business means he wants to do business, or what he
Yeah.
wants to do.
I suppose that is what he means, like how they can probably expand their digital marketing business.
Now I'll tell you simple. Like I think I want to answer this question before I go to the content marketing. Okay. So it is normally when you are young, you are very intelligent, very bright. You always think different outside the box. I still remember. I told this entrepreneur. This guy is an entrepreneur guy. I want to answer this question. Long back, when I was very young, of course, we were young. We were young. We were also smart like you. Actually, you know that. As we grow, we become little smart, less smart because we become older, right? When we are young, we are smart, very smart. But the only thing we will lag is the experience. Now, experience is different. Being smart is different. Um, it always happens when you want to start a business. You actually want to start a business. Hey, come on! I want to really start a business because I have so much of brilliance. I want to actually capitalize on it and start a business. When I start a business, first thing is how to catch the client now. Now all is okay, but if I go and if I want to catch my client, how do I do? How do I get clients? That becomes a major question now. Even though you are a digital marketing specialist, right? You don't know how to catch your clients. That's where the problem is, right? So that is actually where you have to actually gain experience. To be frank, how do you do it? How do you do it? That is, do you have any hard and fast? There is a rule to it. I would say no, but there is a process. There is actually a process which is involved in how to acquire a client. How to acquire a client? There is a process. And if you can master the process, you have to understand one thing. You please understand one thing. Please understand one thing. Sales and marketing are brothers and sisters. If you have if you do not have sales and only marketing, your business will be useless. If you have only sales and no marketing, it is like running without your shoes, right? It is very, very difficult. So what you should understand is both these marketing and sales are very important. Now, when you say acquire a client, if you want to acquire a client, you have to do both these things. So you have to market in such a way that the companies which would like to actually talk to you. That is number one. Number two is when they approach or you approach them, you should know what to pitch to them. So you should understand their psychology. You should understand their needs. You should understand what they want, and then you have to actually make sure that you are able to convince them to become your client. So that is what you are supposed to do. So if you say, ask, is it an easy job? It is definitely not an easy job. But it is through practice over a period of time, 100% you will become a master. No doubt about it. And the next question that somebody asked, the significance of content marketing. It is a continuum of what the same question which I'm telling to these people. When you want to market your brand, right? When you want to market your brand, your products, and all those things to the market, one of the important things that you have to do is you have to provide quality content. Now, only if you give quality content, your people will perceive you as somebody who is a valuable person, who can actually solve their problem, right? So, content becomes an important, significant part in your digital marketing arsenal. Now, what is that you are supposed to have when it comes to digital marketing is the most important thing is content. Again, I'm telling you the same thing. Without content, you can't do anything, right? Without content, what do you think you can do? You can't do anything. Yeah. So it becomes very, very important. So you have to have content, and not ordinary content. It has to be strategic content. What do I mean by strategic content? In fact, you have to do a lot of analysis. Somebody asks this information. How do you get certain information? You have to get through analysis. So through analysis, you get information, and through that information, you are going to build content. So content is very, very important, no doubt. Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah. So Kalyani has a couple of questions. So one is, so is it necessary to do formal education for digital marketing? And she also has another query that she wishes to change her career after 20 years in IT. Is there a way you can help her in achieving that?
No, I couldn't understand. Have she already worked for 20 years now?
Yeah, she has already worked for 20 years in IT, and she would wish to change her career at this point. So she would like some help on that. And she also wants to know if there is a requirement for a formal education to switch to digital marketing.
One thing for sure, I will tell you one thing. In life, whatever you feel is right and you want to do and pursue something, that is the best thing you are supposed to do. Now, let's say, for example, you want to change your career, do. Nobody can stop you. I can tell you, Kalyani, one thing is nobody, your bosses cannot stop you. Your people at home cannot stop you. Nobody can stop you. Understand one thing: if you want to change, you can change. Number one. Number two, but if you want to change, right? People recognize me? That's a major question. But how do you do it? Maybe you are again starting from scratch, but you have to build it. It is not an easy task. It is a very, 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 very difficult task. Number three, in our country scenario, if suppose somebody is going to switch over from one domain to another domain, at least lot of them, I would say, will be people who might be demotivating you. There might be people who do not want you to change, and there are people, recruiters for example, might not be willing to have your CV taken to the next stage, because they would always say that you belong to IT and why are you coming to digital marketing? But you can break it. Nah, you can do it. If you can, definitely you can. I strongly believe in that. But there will be difficult times in a way that people always like, you have 20 years of experience in IT and why do you move to digital marketing? That would be a major question, right? But don't worry about it. I would say that if you want, you can do it. You can even start to want to on your own something you want to do. Also, you can do it. I am somebody who would say that if you want to change your career, you can do it with all the difficulties, because people will be there who will be demotivating you. That's okay. Still, if you want to pursue, yeah, you should pursue. That's my answer. Yeah.
Okay. So Sam has a question. How to promote or sponsor user-generated content?
Somebody says, is it possible to teach me proper knowledge digital marketing from? So the answer is yes. Okay, yeah. Can you again ask me the question?
Yeah. So this question is from Sam, who asks how to promote or sponsor user-generated content.
The user generated content is where you actually give permission for the user to generate, produce content. Let's say, for example, even if you have let's say you have a blog or website, right? You can actually ask your users to comment and share information. At various places, you can actually ask them to give their inputs. The only I would say the negative side of it is you have to make sure the content has to be approved. It has to be approved by you. There can be places where the people might write irrelevant things. It can happen. Those things has to be monitored, right? So in most of the blogs, if for example, there are a lot of places where you get user generated content. Whether, for example, the testimonials or feedbacks, all those things where you get the user generated content. Yeah. Yeah.
So Anusha has a question. So she says that although she understands this will be different, but what is the ideal salary for a digital marketing professional as a fresher? Um, so could you give some info on
For a
that?
fresher, I think they should be paying somewhere around 15,000 to 20,000 to start with. I think that now one thing you have to understand, for everybody who is out of a fresher, only one humble request for you is that do not equate your career success is equal to the amount of money you are going to make initially. That is a totally a wrong way to approach, because it has happened many times, even in our era that has happened, that late starters always finish something very big. It is not a running race. So far, it was a running race. In all your college schools and colleges, it was a running race. But today, it is not. Please understand one thing: it is not a running race. It is a different race altogether, right? So I would say that do not equate it to your amount of salary that you are going to get initially. It might happen that you might be getting only 15,000 rupees in the starting salary, but within few years you might slowly grow to 45,000 to 670,000 to 1 lakh or whatever. Very easily you will move if you are doing good in the career. So I would not recommend you to actually go with that premise that this salary range is best for you, suitable for you, is the best or whatever. I think it's not a good idea to go for. Yeah.
I think Aditya has a follow-up question. What's the step of learning digital marketing from you? Uh,
Yeah, I think you can sign up. We will start the session as soon as possible. That's the answer. Yeah.
right.
So I think yeah, I will stay. I will probably do something. Make sure that you guys come into one of my programs. Yeah.
Great. So there's one question from Sudhan who asked, like, what is next in digital marketing?
What's the best next thing in digital marketing? I will tell you a lot of things are going to happen. Uh, One of the important things I would like to give you some idea what may happen. Okay, you don't know what's going to happen normally. One of the things that are happening is voice search. Right? The kind of search happening on the Google, for example, people actually, we all been doing typing things on the Google and finding information. Now the entire way of finding information is becoming voice search. So Alexa, for example, hey, Alexa, please tell me, please play me this song. You get this information through Alexa. Google, you have Google, of course, you have uh, the Google, what is this? Uh, you have the AI of Google, right? It's a hi Google, Google gives you that information. And you have Cortina, you have Siri, all these are voice search are there. I'm very sure that Google is going to dominate in a way. That the voice search is going to take to us in a different level. One. Um, that is one thing. Number two is what will happen is there is a blend of I would say that the virtual and the real. There will be a lot of merging that might happen. That is going to happen. That will happen. Let's say, for example, this is my cell phone, and I think if suppose the image is there on the Facebook, people, if suppose they all you just scan it and it will say that this cell phone belongs to Bharat. I think that those kind of things have already started. Like the Facebook, I think this Facebook has started that, right? So many such kind of things is going to, in a way, that augmented reality will come into picture. I don't know how the AR is going to happen. I believe that Google is releasing something called Google Eyewear. Something is coming up. Sorry, not the Google. The Apple. Apple is trying to release some product. A lot of those kind of products is going to will come. A lot of IoTs. Internet of Things. Maybe everything will communicate. So your car will communicate. Your fridge will communicate. Everything is integrated. Everything will be integrated. So what will happen because of that is lot of data. So much, even more data will be consumed. More data will be consumed by all these people. For example, people will know that these guys, Google will not only know this information, he will also know, Google will also know what is there in your refrigerator. What are you consuming in your refrigerator? So there will be a lot of such kind of transformation would happen, and very sure the grocery shopping is going to will become totally a different kind of a shopping altogether. I don't think you will be doing any grocery shopping. Most of us will not be doing grocery shopping at all. It will be automated, and all the automation, the grocery will be delivered at home. So a lot of things should be happening. From the healthcare front, I think there are certain things even I'm also working on, like because I've been interacting with these people, Get Well, for example. Uh, like the monitoring, for example, the entire patient monitoring. All you have to do is lie on the bed. So all your temperature, your pulse rate, heart rate, everything is monitored 24 bar 7. Even you can probably, it is, yeah, I'm talking not just the what to say, contact, it's called contact free monitoring. This is contact for monitoring. This is contact monitoring. I mean to say the contact free monitoring, and that those devices are come. So doctor's job will be easy in a way. So you know which patient is getting problem, where the problem is. So easily can you rectify it. Those things are something which are going to those are things which are going to happen. No doubt about it. All most people at home will be given access to these kind of devices, and elderly care, particularly elderly care. Elderly people get any problem, immediately you will be given a response saying that what you're supposed to do. So these are something which could happen, which is going to happen, not could happen, it's going to happen. Yeah.
Right. So there is one last question from Satyajit. So he asked, like, what is good blog practice and the secrets of traffic?
Pardon me?
What is good blog practice and the secrets for traffic?
I don't know what exactly is the question. Okay, blog practices. Blogging, um, if you ask me, it all starts from first fundamentally um, make sure that they buy a proper, uh, you know, domain name and hosting space, because most of these people actually do not even buy a proper domain and hosting space. It's all start with that. Why I'm telling you is many of the blogs have this problem. SSL certificate, do not have SSL certificate, do not have proper structure. So the blog, first important thing is practice, I would say, the structure of the website. The structure of the website should be in such a way that Google is able to index your blog. So the indexing of the blog has to be given a lot of importance. And there are a lot of advanced concepts out there comes to the so-called the search engine optimization, which has to be done in a blog to make sure the blog actually comes on the top of the Google search. So that there are concepts like something called cluster. There is something called content clusters. So these content clusters has to be properly designed and it has to be executed. I think that those are things which are the secrets to traffic. I would say there are only two ways to create traffic. One is the so-called the organic traffic or the paid traffic. Organic traffic always takes time. It doesn't happen immediately. Okay, it's a long-term game. What I told you, the SEO and all those things that I told you, that is going to take a pretty long time. It's like if you have to actually take a project, you have to, like say, you have to give a lot of time. You have to give 1 year time, at least minimum 1 year. Minimum 1 year. I would say not even 1 year. I think some of the big companies, people consult, digital marketing companies consult, give at least 2.5 to 3 years time to make sure that a digital property actually makes you a proper revenue, right? So you have to be a lot of patience, and people who do not have patience cannot win in this space. Unfortunately, most of them do not know this, are always in a hurry burry to make sure they get results. That's a pretty bad thing, I would say. So I would say these are certain things I would probably tell you. Yeah.
Right.
You need to
So
know.
Aditya has a request to you. So he wants you to invite him to your digital marketing webinar because he's interested in learning digital marketing. I think with that,
What I would do is I would probably just share them my email ID so that they can write to me. So this is my email ID, info@bharatsurendran.in. This is also my website, bharatsurendran.in. You can visit